Squirting. Some women experience it, some don't. But does it really matter? Today, we're going deep into the facts, myths, and real stories about squirting. We'll break down what it is, the science behind it, how it compares to female ejaculation, and, most importantly, what women themselves say about it. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand not only the biology, but also the emotions, culture, and personal meaning behind squirting. What is squirting? Squirting is the release of fluid from the urethra, the same tube that carries urine, during sexual arousal or orgasm. It doesn't happen to everyone. And when it does, the amount can vary a lot. For some women, it's just a few drops. For others, it can feel like a strong gush. To understand squirting, let's start with a quick anatomy refresher. The urethra connects the bladder to the outside of the body. Around it sit the Skene's glands, sometimes called the female prostate. These glands are fascinating. In early fetal development, the same tissue that becomes a prostate in men becomes Skene's glands in women. That means biologically they're like distant cousins. During sexual arousal, the glands can swell with fluid. When orgasm happens, the pelvic floor muscles contract. That pressure squeezes the urethra and pushes the fluid out. What's in the fluid? The fluid from squirting is usually clear or slightly cloudy. Some studies show it can be a mix of diluted urine and fluid from the Skene's glands. How do we know? Scientists tested the fluid and found PSA, prostate-specific antigen, an enzyme that comes from the male prostate and also from the Skene's glands. So the evidence suggests squirting isn't just urine, but a unique fluid with its own chemical makeup. When we talk about squirting versus female ejaculation, these two terms are often mixed up, but they're not the same. Squirting is usually larger amounts of clear or watery fluid, while female ejaculation is a smaller amount of thicker, milky fluid coming specifically from the Skene's glands. Research shows about 40% of women report experiencing ejaculation. Squirting, on the other hand, is harder to measure because definitions vary, and many women don't always realize when it happens. So why do people care about squirting? A big reason is the media. Pornography often shows squirting as a goal or a proof of extreme pleasure. That shapes how people think about it, even though science tells a much more nuanced story. In reality, squirting doesn't mean better sex, and not experiencing it doesn't mean anything is wrong. But cultural messages can make some women feel pressure to squirt, or shame if they do. What women really say? A team of researchers in Sweden wanted to dig deeper. They interviewed 28 women who identified as squirters and asked about their experiences. 3 big themes emerged. The first one is excitement, pride, and discovery. Many women described squirting as empowering. They saw it as a sexual awakening, almost like unlocking a hidden ability. Some actively learned how to squirt, reading books or going to workshops. Partners who encouraged them played a big role. A few realized they had been squirting for years without noticing. For them, it felt unique, like being part of a small group with a special power. When we talk about the second theme, that is indifference or detachment. Other women didn't see squirting as important. They sometimes noticed it only after realizing the sheets were wet. For them, it didn't feel linked to orgasm intensity. It just happened. And the last but not the least, discomfort, confusion, or shame. Some felt it was messy, inconvenient, or even embarrassing. A few thought they had accidentally urinated, which led to negative feelings. Social stigma and cultural attitudes made these women feel less comfortable talking about it. What does this mean? The study shows there's no single way women feel about squirting. For some, it's exciting and affirming. For others, it's irrelevant or even uncomfortable. The meaning of squirting depends on personal experience, how supportive a partner is, and cultural context. So, should women be aiming to squirt? The answer is no. Sexual satisfaction comes from many factors: connection, communication, comfort, and pleasure, and OTF-ROM1 physical response. Squirting doesn't mean a woman is better at sex, and not squirting doesn't mean she's missing out. Both are perfectly normal variations of sexual experience. So we can say that squirting is real, natural, and different for every woman. It can feel empowering, neutral, or even awkward, and all of those experiences are valid. The most important thing is focusing on what feels good for you and your partner. Whether you squirt or not, your sexual experience is just as valuable. Thank you for watching. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone curious about the topic, and subscribe for more clear, science-based discussions about sexual health.